Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm back with another pickup video. I am up in Oregon right now. I come up here every 2 weeks for work, and I have quite a few stops that I hit when I come up here. Um, I hit Crescent City. There's a pawn shop there that I've pulled a lot of good stuff out of, and I always get really good deals in there because I go in there so much. Um, I haven't had much lately for the last probably month or so. Haven't got too much good stuff out of there. Some random things, but no like killer score. I have pulled some really good stuff out of there though. I've gotten like a lot of the Mario 3DS games out of there for a couple bucks. I got a Zelda Minish Cap for Advance for a couple bucks out of there. But there's two guys that work there, two older guys who are really cool, and they always cut me the deals. And when I showed up today, they were both getting fired. They had done something, fucked something up, and got fired. And they were like taking their stuff out to the store as I showed up. So that's a real bummer because those guys cut me a lot of fat deals. Now there's this, well, he's been there the whole time, but there's a younger guy who works there, probably in his late 20s or so, and he's all right. But he's not like, he won't give me the deals these other guys will. Like today, I went in there. Didn't have shit, but they had columns for Sega Genesis. They haven't had any Genesis stuff in there for a long time. This was really like the only new thing in there. And just bitching the other day about Sega being in horrible shape, man. This whole thing looks brand new. The case looks great. The cartridge looks amazing. I mean, it's just like a kind of a Tetris style game. Nothing special about it, but man, it is clean as hell. Nice manual. Really, really good shape. So that and a rechargeable battery pack for 360 controllers, a red one. I just got a red controller a couple of weeks ago, so I got this to match it. I got both these for $5. Not the greatest deal. I think the game is worth like $6. And that was the kid that, of course. So I'm gonna have to be very careful of what I do in there now. I'm not gonna get the deals that I was getting, I can tell. So anyway, when I come up, I hit Crescent City. I hit that pawn shop. There's a thrift shop there. Really ghetto thrift shop, but I pulled some amazing stuff out of there. I got like Super Smash Bros. And Mario Kart 64 for like $4 each out of there. I've pulled a whole stack of Super Nintendo out of there at $1 a piece. Nothing super great, but got like Return of the Jedi and what else was in that? And just a bunch of stuff. I hit that today. There was nothing there. So I come up into Oregon, and just over the border in Harbor, there's a thrift shop there that I've pulled a few good things out of. They don't get a whole hell of a lot of stuff, but I went in there one time and they had like some Wii games. They had like Twilight Princess, House of the Dead, 2 and 3, and one other game. I can't remember what it was, but they were all like $5 each. So bought all those. That was a good deal. And then just 2 weeks ago, I hit there and they had a box behind the counter that had a PS1 and a PS2 in it, and a bunch of controllers and just cables and a game. Tony Hawk game or something. Got that for $20, and the PS1 was super clean, super clean. It looked brand new, and it has the AV cables on the back. It's kind of the more sought after PS1. You can mod it to play burn games, but I mean, I couldn't believe how good it looked. So that one is definitely staying in the collection. Anyway, that was 2 weeks ago. I skipped it today because I was a little short on time, and hit the Goodwill that's next on the trail of stops that I hit. The Goodwill, I've never found anything great in there. It's really random, and I'm pretty sure, as soon as something good comes in, it's probably gone that day. I'm sure there's people that, just scout the place all the time. I only come up here every 2 weeks, so they did have a few new things, and kind of weird things that I've never seen these games. It seems kind of like obscure stuff. Never seen these in the wild. They're not super valuable or anything, but picked them up. They were, $3-4 each. Dead Man's Hand for Xbox. It's an Atari game. It's a first-person shooter. Basically looks like Red Dead Revolver. It's the same story, pretty much. It's like obviously Red Dead Revolver ripped this off because it's the same damn game. I don't even know how to pronounce this. Sudeki. I don't know. Super hot little cartoon chick on the cover there. 5 out of 5 stars from Maxim Magazine. Oh, wow. But it looks like some kind of action RPG. It is complete. It doesn't, obviously this isn't the green Xbox case, but it's got the manual and it's in really good shape. I'll have to switch cases, but yeah, whatever, cool. And then this one, I've heard of this game. I've seen it around before. For 360. Whoop, for 360, Blue Dragon. It's a RPG. Actually, it looks pretty cool, but not super pricey. It's like a $15 game. At least on price charting. I always check my prices on price charting, but then if you go to eBay and see what people are trying to sell the stuff for, it's always more. You can tell people are trying to jack up the prices on things. So anyway, got that. So that was at the Goodwill. Then I hit the pawn shop in Brookings, and that's the one that always has, anything under PS3 or 360 is $1, no matter what it is. And said in previous videos, I've pulled some really killer shit out of there for $1. Nothing good today. I just kind of picked up some scraps that have been laying around that I've passed on before, and just figured out, hell, I'll pick them up because they're dirt cheap. 5 games for $4. Loose discs mostly. Let's see, NASCAR 2000, Rugrats in Paris. I'll play that as soon as I get home. Yeah. Casper, Friends Around the World. Another super fun one, I'm sure. Another copy of Jet Moto 2 that has the back, but no front, and this case is, this was a music CD case. I don't think Jet Moto had explicit lyrics in it. I have a very nice copy of this. This is gonna go in a PS1 bundle of stuff that I sell soon. And then a loose copy of Casper Spirit Dimensions for PS2. Again, I'm sure that's a super fun game. At the Goodwill too, I also found a couple of cool little things. These were like 10 cents each, so you obviously couldn't pass it up. It's Nintendo shit. Yoshi, this guy was from Burger King. Says Burger King on the bottom, and he's like a little wind-up Yoshi guy. He looks pregnant, but he's holding an egg. You wind him up, and yeah, fun. This is kind of cool. This is from like 1994. This is Sonic the Hedgehog watch. And, I'm sure the battery's dead, but kind of a cool little vintage, kind of vintage item there. Couldn't 10 cents. Couldn't leave it. And this is legit right here. It's Luigi, and this isn't World of Nintendo. This is a different line that came out before World of Nintendo. 2009. 2009. These were made, and I looked them up, and there's a whole set of them. But sweet. It looks cool. It looks new. Not all faded. God, Butterfingers. Not like missing paint chips and stuff. And he's like vinyl, PVC. He's kind of squishy. Anyway, cool stuff. So at the pawn shop, and then right next to the pawn shop in the same strip mall is the retro game store. They actually have a retro game store here, and it's nothing super great. They get really good stuff that just trickles in. They have like a surplus of common shit, and it's fairly priced. Most of it, a lot of it is what it's worth. Occasionally there'll be something there that's been sitting for a long time and they priced it low, and it's gone up in value, so you can pick it up for cheap, and it's worth double what it's actually priced at. I've done that quite a few times. In fact, some of the stuff I got today was like that. But they do give really good trade credit for stuff. So I had a little small stack of games, some NES, and a couple Super Nintendo games that were all doubles. I brought up that stuff. I had paid $10 for those games. There was 4 NES and 2 Super Nintendo, and I had paid $10 for those. And then, at that Goodwill, on top of those Xbox games, they had three sealed copies of a 3DS crossword puzzle game. It was look it up, it's like a $6 game new on price charting, but they had $2 on them, and they were still sealed. So I bought all 3 at $2 each, took them to the game shop, got $6 credit on each one. So on top of my games, and that, it was like $16 out of pocket. And I got about $60 in credit for everything, so that was pretty sweet. And like I said, they didn't have anything really great in, so I just kind of picked up I got a bunch of PS1, and I just got a few good things, and then grabbed some just kind of random, obscure, cheap shit. Just stuff to add to the collection, stuff that you never see. I've never seen this kind of stuff in the wild. Just weird ass obscure games. First one being Gubble, whatever the hell that is. Sorry about the glare there. Says an addictive blend of action and strategy. I don't know what that means, but looks like some kind of funky puzzle maze game or something. Weird little creepy guy on the cover there. And let's see, I think that's like a $5 game. Creatures, another really creepy little guy on the cover there. That is terrifying. Anyway, it's almost like a Tamagotchi kind of. You raise these little guys in this funky environment, and yeah, there's like 1,400 PS1 games. There's some weird shit out there. A couple of these, I don't know why I like these cases. The company that made these A1 games, they packaged all their games kind of in the same way. They all have this, they fall under categories of like shooter, sports, fighting, action, adventure, puzzle, role playing, and they all have, kind of see this little list of their categories, and they all have this, like, it says what kind of game it is and then the title of the game. I got a couple of shooter games. I mean, they even say, like, on the edge, shooter. These are cheap. I mean, they're not worth much, but this is Starfighter Sandvane and Space Shot. And I actually have a loose copy of this one, so that'll end up going into a bundle of something else. So, anyway, a couple just weird things. These are the better ones. These are about $15 each for the most part, I think. Tenchu 2. That's a cool one, definitely. Black label. These were all black label. One game I almost got a greatest hits game and I passed. I couldn't do it. It's been there for a long time, but they want like $10 for it, and I just can't do it. Anyway, Tenchu 2. It's like a $15 game, somewhere around there. There's one I've never heard of, but it just looks cool. And it's worth about $13 too. Destrega, I guess that's how you say that. Destrega. And this looks like a fighter. From the people that brought you Dynasty Warriors. Anyway, cool looking game. Cool looking case. Anyway, I don't know about the game. Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Battle 22. Just a cool, Dragon Ball Z games are always pretty cool. I'm not a big Dragon Ball Z fan by any means, but a lot of their games are valuable. This one, not so much. This is about a $12 game, something like that. Like I said, again, nothing I got today is worth more than $15. So unless you look on eBay, then they're up there. And then this one's cool, Alien Resurrection. I don't know how good the game is. It is a first-person shooter. It actually looks decent. There's a fly in here. Anyway, the greatest hits one I passed on was Alien Trilogy, and I thought it'd be cool to have them all, but I kind of want to get that in the long box. And speaking of long boxes, I got 4 of them today. Just random shit, nothing cool. But here's a good example. This was priced at $3. It's like 12 now, so you can know it's been there a while because the value of it has gone up, and probably just because of the long box. I think people are seeking out the long boxes more these days because they're just harder and harder to come by. This is Power Serve 3D Tennis. It is complete. Manual's in really good shape. Bummer about these is, man, if you break the case or something, there's no replacing it. Where the hell do you find one of these? I've got an NBA Jam for Sega CD. I don't even have a Sega CD, but it's technically still sealed. It's never been opened or played, but it is beat to shit. Excuse me. Beat to hell. The case is cracked. The plastic's peeling off of it, but technically it's still sealed. These are both plastic, the plastic cases. Total Eclipse Turbo. Again, not a very valuable game, but look at that guy. Doesn't he look fun? and then a couple of the cardboard ones, which I like these ones way better, even though the cardboard starts to peel off of them, but you can glue it back on. Shell Shock. Price trading on this is not very much, but I looked it up on eBay, and people are trying to raise the value of this one. It's up there at like 20, 25, 30. People are trying to sell it for in a long box, so who knows, maybe this will skyrocket. But this is actually one of the nicest cardboard long boxes I've ever seen. This thing is in super good shape. None of it's coming up. I mean, there are a few little scuffs and scrapes, and actually I just noticed that little tear right there, but other than that, I mean, it's very, very clean. And then I am actually pretty stoked on this one because I am a huge fan of the series, and this is the first one, Need for Speed, the original Need for Speed. I love Need for Speed. I always have. Long before I started collecting. I think the first Need for Speed I ever played was Need for Speed V Rally for PS1, and it wasn't the greatest game, but I really liked it. And I actually got more into Midnight Club before I got really heavy into Need for Speed Underground and Underground 2 and what is it? Undercover on 360 is probably my favorite. I play the fuck out of that shit. Anyway, that's about it. That's all I got today. So it was a real bittersweet kind of day. On top of those two guys getting fired and me probably losing out on some killer deals, I'll still get plenty of stuff out of there. I just won't get it at such a good price, probably. On top of that, about a month ago when I came up here, I go farther north. I go up into Gold Beach, Port Orford, and a little bit past Port Orford. There's a little town called Langlois. But just past Port Orford, there's this kind of it's like a grange off to the side of the road, and they have kind of a little seller's market in there. And I've stopped there a few times, and I've never found anything good there. Although I did find Super Mario Brothers movie on VHS there, and I was looking for it forever. Anyway, there was one lady there who has her own a little booth, and she had like a small stack of games. That's actually where I got that red 360 controller. I got that from her. And I was talking to her, and she said that she had a whole box of Super Nintendo, and she was planning on bringing it in and just hadn't got around to it. And I asked her, like, you think you could, hold on to it and let me take a look at it before you put it out? And she was like, oh yeah, absolutely. She's like, you'll be back in a couple weeks. I was like, yeah, I come up here every 2 weeks. So 2 weeks goes by, I come back up. This was 2 weeks ago. I come back up, and she's there, and she said, oh, I forgot it. Oh, yeah, I promise I'll bring it next time. And if I'm not here, I'll leave it behind the counter and just ask whoever's here to let you look through it. Sweet. So I go there today, and she's not there, and there's a little old lady behind the counter, has no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just like, all right, great. And she's like, well, I can call her. I can try and call her if you'd like. I was like, can't hurt. So she gets her on the phone, and I can hear her. I'm kind of walking around the little store, and I can hear her talking to her, and she's like, oh, there's a gentleman here looking for some games that you said you were going to bring in. And she goes, oh, they were destroyed? Oh, that's too bad. And I was like, oh, God. And she's like, okay, thanks. Gets off the phone, and she says that the lady told her that she had them in a box in a shed or somewhere, and water leaked in them, and it filled the box with water and just destroyed them all. I don't know if that's true, honestly. My first guess was that she probably looked them up on eBay and saw how much they were worth. And I mean, if it was anything good, like fucking Earthbound or Dracula X or anything like that, yeah, what are you gonna sell it for $5 at your seller's market? No, you put that shit on eBay and get top dollar for it. So I have a feeling that was the case, that she just didn't want to bring them in and sell them for cheap. So, but hey, I don't know. They could very well have been destroyed. I've heard that from other people before. Another guy told me he had a box of Super Nintendo that was all boxed in the boxes and everything, and it got water damage. The games were fine, but the boxes and manuals were destroyed. So yeah, it does happen. But it was just like, man, I went in there like, oh, come on, like, please be something. Be that, that hidden gem, that fucking Earthbound for $5. Like, come on. And oh yeah, they're all destroyed. So bittersweet day. Like, actually, pretty much just bitter. There was like, I didn't get anything that great today, so there's nothing all that sweet about it. I really wish there'd have been something good at the game shop that I could have put all that credit toward. And they actually have, like, I have an account there where I could have just left the money there, but yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I don't feel complete unless I get something. So anyway, that was it for today. Tomorrow probably won't be any better. There was a couple of stores I skipped coming up today, so I'll probably hit them tomorrow. If I get anything good, I'll let you know. Other than that, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate the support. We're up to like 10 subscribers right now. I know it's not much, but I'm grateful that you guys watch, and I really like doing this. I like showing off my stuff, and I'm glad you guys like watching it. So thumbs up, comment. We'll see you later.